Namaskar, myself Dr. Anubhav Prasad. I am here to review a paper entitled Ethical Boundaries of AI Use in Education and Research.
Good evening, everybody. This paper presents ethical boundaries of AI use in education and research. Main author of this paper is Vaishali Parmar from SPEC campus. Co-author is Toral Patel, assistant professor from SPEC campus. Here is the abstract. This paper examines the ethical boundaries governing the use of artificial intelligence within educational and research field. Rapid intake of AI-driven tools ranging from automated grading system to generative text model, promising more benefits but also introduce significant ethical challenges. From the abstract, we can see that AI tools from personalized learning to research analysis are rapidly becoming part of our education and research. AI tool can automate grading and analyze faster data. The personalized learning. This is a huge potential for efficiency and innovation. The speed of AI adoption, especially with new generative tools. Well, there is a risk. There is a tools and there is a risk. If we don't set the clear rules, AI risks undermining the academic value like integrity and fairness. Don't forget, our goal is not to stop AI but to guide it, to ensure human judgment and ethics stay at the core that we can do. So, from the intro, we can see we have a group of five core areas. The AI is increasingly embedded into modern educational system. In classroom, AI supports personalized learning, automates assessment, analyzes student behavior, assists with curriculum designs. In research, AI accelerates the data analysis, automates literature reviews, and design. But AI tools are further accelerated adoption enabling nature language interaction at scale. Simply we can say AI is a tool where we can learn. It is not we can depend on. So, from the different literature reviews, we can see there are the five main cores. The first is academic integrity and authorship. The biggest worry. If AI generates a paper, who wrote it? We must ensure AI don't compromise the originality of student work or research. Second is privacy of data governance. AI needs massive amount of data. This means we must securely handle student and research data and always have informed consent of its use. Third is fairness and bias. AI system can learn and amplify bias present in data they are trained on. We must constantly check and intimate that this bias to ensure that fair outcomes for everybody. Fourth is transparency and explainability. We can't trust a black box. Human oversight, the last. Ultimately, critical decision, like the student's final grade or approving the research result, must remain under human review and responsibility, not the AI tool. So, to conclude my presentation, I can say AI has immense potential to transform education and research, making progress more efficient and personalized. Yet, without ethical boundaries, this technology risks undermining academic integrity, privacy, and fairness. So, ultimately, the goal is not to restrict the AI, but to guide it, ensuring that human judgment, creativity, and ethics remain at the core of education and scholarship. Thank you.
The authors are Vaishali Parmar and Toral Patel. So, talking about this research paper, the idea is very good that ethical boundaries of AI must be decided for the educational purposes as well as the research purposes. And this is essentially the need of the hour because the situation is growing crucial such that the people are using AI to a very large extent for their research as well as for education purpose also. So the overall evaluation of this paper is that the manuscript's primarily strength lies in the systematic articulation of ethical boundaries supported by a comprehensive literature based and translated into an accountable institutional practices. While the paper is largely conceptual and integratively rather than empirical, it contributes meaningful clarity to a rapidly evolving and policy relevant domain. So the overall the works is publishable with minor to moderate revisions as I can see, mainly aimed at strengthening originality, methodological positions and academic rigor. So the stance can be summarized in some points like timeliness and relevance. The topic directly addresses current challenges posed by generative AI. This is a very crucial point they have pointed here, that because of generative AI, the problem is getting worse and worse day to day. Second strength is the strong theoretical grounding. They have used very good literature for supporting their reviews as well as whatever the points they are trying to raise. They have clearly put all the points very well in the timely and in a very precisely manner. Third is clear conceptual organization, as I already mentioned. Practical orientation is also good. The paper goes beyond abstract ethics by proposing algorithmic impact assessment, AI labels and disclose mechanisms, as well as human in the loop oversight. And the last one is AI literacy as a curricular response. Because every paper has some pros and cons also, so this paper is do have some weaknesses, and I just want to point them in a very summarized way. A limited original contribution. The paper is primarily synthetic and normative rather than analytical or empirical. So paper being empirical is somewhat expected, because whatever the point is being raised here, definitely analytical or empirical contribution was required. So the suggestion is, please explicitly state the paper's unique contribution in the introduction. For example, this paper contributes by translating global AI ethics principles into education and research specific operational boundaries. Second is lack of methodological positioning. Though the paper is systematic, but somewhere the narrative review or conceptual theoretical paper or presentation is there. But as for the suggestion is considered, literature selection strategy, inclusion exclusion criteria, especially for 2023 to 2025 studies, should have been more clear in terms of what they have just tried to mention. Apart from that, insufficient contextualization to the global south is missing somewhat, because ethical AI challenges in resource constraint of global south education system is more. Redundancy in authorship discussions is also somewhat a point you can say that needs to be taken care of. And the last one is quality of writing and presentation. The manuscript is well written, coherent and professionally structured, but minor stylistic refinements could reduce repetition and improve conciseness in especially sections 3 and 4. Overall, my recommendation for this paper is that clarify the paper's methodological nature and original contribution. Apart from that, reduce redundancy in authorship discussion. Third point is strengthen contextual relevance, example global south Indian perspective. And finally is optionally add illustrative case examples. Case example is somewhat required in the current scenario, because definitely if you are just mentioning something and you are highlighting what are the problems there in the past and what are the problems in the current scenario, so it just strengthens the paper's overall quality. So definitely the paper is good. They have tried to point a very relevant topic, that is why AI needs to be restricted to a certain level in case of education as well as research. So my best wishes with the authors for this paper. Hope this paper can further be improved, and whatever suggestions are there, maybe those suggestions can enhance the quality of the paper. And apart from this ethical boundaries of AI use in education research, other fields are also there where AI use must be limited or must be checked. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Good morning, I am Pranav Rathod.
And I am Megan Hosere. Today we are presenting our research on real-time sign language to text conversion augmented by NLP for a grammatical coherence.
We represented Nutan Maharashtra Institute of Engineering and Technology. Next slide.
Our motivation is to bridge the communication gap for the hearing impaired through the accessible technology.
We believe inclusion AI is essential for facilitating seamless interaction in a daily life and ensuring social cause. Next slide.
Our core focus is transforming Indian Sign Language gesture into precise, grammatically correct English text.
We are moving beyond simple literature translation by advancing vision-based approach and ensuring full sentence coherence. Next slide. Recognition technology has evolved from early sensor-based to modern vision-based system by using camera, all thanks to OpenCV.
We are leveraging modern frameworks like MediaPipe for robust key point extraction and LSTMs for enhanced accuracy.
Next slide. Our system uses a dual stage pipeline Stage 1 is a computer based vision model.
It captures the frames in real time at 30 fps and uses a media pipe to extract 543 landmarks for sequential predictions via LSTM. Stage 2 is the NLP model. We use a fine-tuned DeFi transformer model for a sentence perfection.
This ensures that the output is not just words but grammatically sounds correct. Next slide. We developed a custom database of 100 unique ISL sign language, Indian Sign Language.
The system is built using the Python, integrating OpenCV for vision and Hugging the Face transformer for NLP.
Next slide. Our initial prototype shows promising performance with low latency or of less than 200 milliseconds and accuracy over 190%.
We are targeting a sign language recognition accuracy of over 90%, proving the system is ready for practical deployment.
Next
This
slide.
technology can facilitate clear dialogue in healthcare, education, and customer support.
We are currently working through challenges like environment lighting and expanding vocabulary beyond 100 sign languages.
In conclusion, we have demonstrated a successful prototype for real-time grammatical coherent conversion.
Our future work will include a text to speech integrated module and supported multi language systems. Thank you.
The authors are Tushar Vaikole, Pranav Rathod, and Megha Navsare. So, the idea they are using for grammatical coherence for real-time sign language to text conversion, definitely it is a appreciable topic. And apart from that, this topic is somewhat very close to a large database handling also. So my overall evaluation for this paper is the paper proposes a real-time sign language recognition system integrating computer vision, deep learning and natural language processing to improve grammatical coherence in translated text. This work combines landmark-based feature extraction, a CNN LSTM hybrid architecture and an NLP post-processing module to transform gloss sequences into grammatically structured sequences. The topic is highly relevant, as I said earlier, and socially impactful. So somewhat there is a need of the hour, that because NLP is growing at a very faster rate, so definitely sign language conversion from text to sign language is there. So definitely it will be helpful for those person which are not able to communicate, not only for those person that can't speak, but also this is somewhat helpful in terms of converting between different languages just by using a signal or a sign. So the strengths of this paper is social relevance and practical impact. The focus on real-time performance, low latency architecture, text-to-speech integration, and grammatical coherence by NLP. Low latency architecture is a very good initiative, because definitely this type of work may be latency driven, and definitely there is a lag in the system also. But they have tried to maintain a low latency architecture. Second is clear architectural pipeline, that is video acquisition, pre-processing, landmark extraction, CNN for spatial feature learning, LSTM for temporal modeling, NLP based gloss to sentence correction, as well as text to speech synthesis. The use of media pipe and landmarks instead of raw image input is a strong decision choice, because taking a raw input data and database size will be grown, as well as the size of each image is definitely will be a key factor for maintaining this low latency, as well as having an overall smooth transition. So media pipe will handle this type of situation very well. Apart from that, literature contextualization is also very good, but definitely there are some weaknesses, and to be honest some are major weaknesses. Absence of experimental results, whatever they are claiming, and they are not providing any result. So definitely I am just having an idea and I am not trying to implement this idea, is somewhat making this paper weak enough such that it needs a major revision. Because the manuscript does not provide accuracy metrics, precision recall F1 score, that is very common for the machine learning type of papers. Confusion matrix is also missing, real-time latency measurements is not there, comparison with baseline models is missing, ablation studies like CNN versus CNN plus LSTM, what is this? This is not mentioned clearly. So the required thing is that clear data set split must be there, train, validation and test. Quantitative results must be there, comparative analysis, real-time FPS measurement is required. Second means data set ambiguity. The manuscript mentions ISL data set ASL dataset, however does not clarify which dataset was used for training. Means if I am using two different datasets in my research paper and I am not very clearly mentioning which one I am using, so definitely it is type of ambiguous situation. Apart from that, whether experiments were conducted on both, this is also not mentioned. Whether cross data evaluation was performed, not mentioned. Whether dynamic gestures were included, this is somewhat also missing. So this all need clarification. Apart from that, NLP component is under specified. This means may utilize a rule based system or a simple sequence to sequence model. This is a vague and technically insufficient. So please don't mind authors, but the thing is that these are the crucial missing areas where this paper must be addressed such that it is acceptable and globally recognized, because this work may be improved and definitely this has a potential. But the thing is that if you are not mentioning all these key points, definitely one will think that this is just a concept and not an implementable idea, because here also language and academic tone is missing. Means several issues reduce academic quality, like informal phrasing, good precision level means something what grammatical errors in conclusion is there, redundant explanation of basic communication concept, repetition of bridging communication gap. These are the major issues in the paper. Apart from that, if I am saying from the point of view of technical novelty, so moderate, because NLP augmentation promising is somewhat not done to a certain level. Technical depth is insufficient. Experimental validation is missing. Reproducibility not currently reproducible. Clarity is moderate. Practical impact is high but not shown. So my recommendations for improvement is that add quantitative results, clearly dataset use, clarify data set use, detail the NLP architecture as well as add comprehensive baseline, improve academic writing, and the final is removal of informal tone, conciseness, precision, grammar. This all needs revision. So my overall recommendation for this paper is that it should go for a major revision, because all those points which I mentioned for major improvement must be mentioned in this paper, and without comparison, without having an experimental result, this paper cannot be accepted. This is my final review for this paper, that a major revision is required. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Good morning, respected chairpersons, reviewers and participants. I am Dr. M.SARAVANAN from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Today I am going to pleased to present my paper titled Viksit Bharat, Technology Driven Development for a Sustainable and Self-Reliant India. India's vision of Viksit Bharat aims to transform the nation into developed, inclusive and self-reliant economy by leveraging science, technology and innovation. Actually, this work discusses how advanced technology, digital infrastructure and research-driven development play a key role in the achieving sustainable growth while addressing the social and economic challenges. The key areas of the studies focus on the major technology-driven pillars such as Digital India initiatives, smart infrastructure and communication technologies, artificial intelligence and IoT, and automation, sustainable energy and driven technologies. These technologies support improvements in education, healthcare, agriculture, industry and governance, contributing to balanced national development. This work is based on the systematic analysis of existing literature, government initiatives and recent technologies advancements. Actually, this work highlights how policy supports industry academic collaborations and research innovation together accelerate the journey towards developed India. The key outcomes and discussions of the work is called enhances economic productivity, promotes inclusive growth, improves quality of life, support environment and sustainability. And this work emphasizes the importance of skilled human resources and continuous innovation to sustain long-term progress. In conclusion, Viksit Bharat can be realized through a holistic integration of the technology, policy and education. Strategic investment in emerging technologies and research will ensure India's growth as a globally competitive and sustainable nation. Thank you for this opportunity to present my work. I look forward to your valuable feedback. Thank you very much.
The author is Dr. M. Saravanan. He's from Annamalai University, Tamil Nadu. The overall evaluation of this paper is this paper presents a conceptual and policy oriented exploration of how India's higher education system needs a restructure to support the national vision of Viksit Bharat 2047 through the synergetic integration of NEP and Indian knowledge system, that is IKS. The manuscript is timely, social relevant and well aligned, and international education discourse is also there. The paper's strength lies in the clarity of structure, policy coherence and inclusive development perspective. It effectively synthesizes government policy documents and global educational narratives to argue for a cultural rooted yet globally comparative higher education ecosystem. So the strengths are more summarized here. Policy relevance and timelines, just I mentioned. Clear conceptual structure is there, that is historical and philosophical foundations are there. Policy review of NEP 2020 is there. Role of IKS is clearly mentioned. Inclusivity and technology as well as challenges and pathways forward are also mentioned in this paper. Strong alignment with national and global frameworks is also a very appreciable and very commendable job here. That is national policy visions, Ministry of Education, Niti Aayog, global educational perspectives such as UNESCO's Reimagining Our Futures Together. This is also very properly aligned. Apart from that, emphasis on inclusivity and multidisciplinarity is also mentioned here because this focus on equity, access, multilingualism and universal design for learning reflects our NEP priorities. Apart from that, there are some weaknesses which needs improvement. First of all, I will pointing all those weaknesses. Predominantly descriptive nature. This is the paper relies heavily on policy narration and affirmation with limited crucial integration. That is, limitations include no comparative analysis with previous educational policies because what current educational policy is doing, what NEP 2020 is doing and what previous one is doing, there should be comparison between those also. Apart from that, limited discussion on possible tensions between global models and indigenous frameworks because what global model is required to do and what indigenous, that is India based design is required to do, and if there is a type of conflict, how can it be handled? So it should have been highlighted in this paper. Apart from that, lack of counter arguments for risk in IKS integration is also not clearly mentioned. My suggestion for this is that risk of superficial IKS integration must be mentioned. Potential curriculum overload should be there, and apart from the challenges of standardization and academic rigor should be mentioned. Apart from that, absence of empirical or case-based evidence is also somewhat needs to be highlighted here because the paper does not include institutional case studies, pilot program examples, data on implementation outcomes is also not mentioned. Apart from that, overgeneralization in some sections, just like statements such as technology supports personalized learning or multidisciplinarity improves employability are accurate but generic. Suggestions are to include recent studies, reports from Niti Aayog or UC as well as international benchmarks must be there. Apart from that, if I just want to summarize this paper as a whole, so the relevance is high, originality is moderate, policy alignment is excellent, analytical depth is somewhat between moderate to low, clarity and structure is also high, and academic rigor is moderate. Apart from that, my final recommendation is that except with minor to moderate revision is there, and this is my review for this paper. Dhanyavad.
A good morning to the respected session chair and disguised participants. I am Tanusha and here I am with my co-authors Lahari and Jyoti Krishna. Today we are going to present our research work titled Cultural Hub and AI Integrated Digital Knowledge Publishing Framework for Author Empowerment and Knowledge Democratization Towards Viksit Bharat. This research is being supported by our lecturer and who is an assistant professor, Ms. Lavanya Marela. This research aligns with the theme of 5th International Virtual Multidisciplinary Conference on Reimagining Higher Education in 21st Century and Inclusive Way Towards Viksit Bharat via NEP 2020 and IKS. So the Viksit Bharat says the Indian vision of Viksit Bharat in 2047 focuses on building a digitally empowered, knowledge-driven and innovation-led society. A pillar of the vision is known for the knowledge accessibility, digital inclusion, and cultural preservation, and etc. So for this, our idea aligns with the technology integration education and digital knowledge of repository for the National Educational Policy 2020, which is of NEP 20. So for this, problems which are being faced in our society is being addressed in this of our problem statement. Our study identifies a critical gap in India's digital knowledge ecosystem. Currently, there is no unified platform for authors, educators, and cultural scholars can create a cultural relevant content and validate knowledge accuracy and publish independently and reach the readers directly. So our traditional publishing systems which are existing now are costly and centralized, which are being a fragmented space where all the tools which are being there for publishing your book are being fragmented in different levels, which makes to reach to the end user. So this limited emerging authors who are there in today's society are not having a perfect platform so that they can reach out directly and make the changes whatever needed. And they have the restrictive inclusive participation, because of which the ideas which need to be presented are not has been given. So this gap which has been provided in this society of the publishing industry is being restricted for the equal contribution of knowledge economy, which is a core component for the Viksit Bharat. So our project aligns for it in a clear way. So to know more about our project, we have an PPT which has been presented, and our idea of cultural hub is being presented to it. Idea of cultural hub says about the project which is critically needed for the space of the targeted space which has been designed, which we have discussed before, is about the targeted users for the authors, educators, and historians. So this is a triangular collaborative platform where the authors, educated, and historians can go for the one-stop solution to avoid the publication industry to have a large fragmented space, so that it creates a network platform for the people so that they can have a easy and accessible projections of their books and they can publish them easily. Because of this, we can have the demand in preserving our heritage and culture and making a new generation books which may integrate our Indian culture and tells about our Indian greatness through our books and tells about the Indian stories or about our religion or region practices which are having, and make the people of different countries to know about our culture, and which makes easy for the accessible content. So as we have discussed about the problem before, there is no unified platform for the educators, authors, and historians. So where our app sits down, our app makes a connection between these three segment of people and makes the lack of cultural sensitivity to be a big removal space by through our platform. So in our platform, we have collaborative editing with the people or the authors who need a certain space to get edited and to space where they can type their own project or their own book and they can project them easily in our app. And we provide the different kinds of AI tools which are needed for the author to edit their book and to make a different kind of space which is needed for the author to make their creativity, to have a thrust to create a new amount of books or the new amount of content which is needed, which is integrating with our Indian values and making them really readable for this Gen Z culture people. And integrated publishing, which makes the different kinds of publishing houses to come together in a single app, can know about the emerging authors which are writing the different kinds of books. And we also provide a digital media support where people can come and know what they are having and through Instagram, and they can promote their book easily. So this also enhance accuracy and inclusivity of the book so that the reader can find all the different genres of books in only one app according to their language or according to their type of genre choice. So the technology which we are using is about the Figma for the UI UX design and Node.js for the robust backend infrastructure and HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for the responsive frontend and backend development. And here we have the AI powered innovations, as I have said, for the innovating and creating a next generation books easily through our app by giving a scripting space for the authors and giving different types of AI tools to regenerate their talent and regenerate their knowledge, with including the artificial intelligence also, which is of ChatGPT, Quillbot, Plugin, and humanized AI mid-journey, which makes the book unique and attractive for the people and gives many inputs to the author to make their book to the next level. And our vision for the future is about launching for the user feedback, and we give the feature comparisons to the different kinds of authors so that they can compare each other and can make them better. And we are building a community of publishing and a book industry so that all the people can have a connection together. And we also encourage the global partnerships, not only the publishing houses in India but also the publishing houses for the different countries. And this empowers the creators and enrich their education and make them to foster the cultural understanding so that they can explore more about our culture and promote our culture to the different places and build digital archives. So in conclusion, I would say that this research introduced a cultural hub and AI integrated digital knowledge publishing framework that unifies content creation and quality enhancement and publishing and reader access in single ecosystem. So this is a great, would like to express a sincere gratitude to our mentor Lavanya ma'am and also for the opportunity to the Viksit Bharat, and we hope our idea will be the most one and be supportive to our research work. Thank you.
Cultural Hub, an integrated digital knowledge publishing framework for author empowerment and knowledge democratic towards Viksit Bharat. So the overall evaluation of this paper is that this paper presents a conceptually strong and socially relevant framework that aligns with India's development vision of Viksit Bharat 2047 and the objectives of the NEP 2020. The idea of integrating AI tools with a unified digital publishing ecosystem is innovative and timely. Definitely, the idea is very strong enough. But first of all, I would just like to mention the strengths of this paper, that is strong alignment with national vision, relevant and socially impactful problem, good structural organization, clear identification of research gap, as well as integrated system thinking and prototype based validation. These are the strengths of this paper. But talking about the weaknesses of this paper, because of what this paper is trying to present here, definitely in the case of presentation something is lagging, and they are the major weaknesses of this paper. Just like no quantitative data has been mentioned here, limited academic citations are there, no system architecture diagram is there, no AI algorithm explanation is there. Apart from that, no performance benchmarking and prototype not tested on real user. So what I'm just trying to say is that if you're just trying to present an idea in the form of an prototype or in the form of an integrated system thinking, so definitely the quantitative data must be there, explanation of the AI algorithm, benchmarking must have been mentioned in this paper also, as well as prototype must have been tested on some real users. So these are lagging in this paper. So my suggestion is to improve this paper is that at least add 5 to 8 research citations, add architectural diagram, AI flow diagram should also have been added in this paper. Sample data testing, simulated evaluation metrics, as well as some limitations in these sections are there which needs to be modified, and future implementation roadmap must be there, because if we are going for an idea that is for NEP, that is for Viksit Bharat, so definitely what we expect as a reviewer or as a reader of this paper, that the roadmap must have been clearly mentioned such that we can know okay how to just go for this Viksit Bharat 2047 and along with NEP 2020 also. So my final verdict for this paper is to just work on the major concerns of this paper that has I have just pointed here, and just try to implement the idea. If it is an AI model or something like this, so just trying to mention that it has been clearly mentioned and all the points has been clearly covered. Dhanyavad.